So last class we discussed about the basic of the congruency. See, that was the very basics. Means just format, formula and properties we see. Today we'll just see the few application after this one. Believe me, it's a huge. It's not a small things. There are so many applications are there. Every application I cannot discuss in the class, but I will give you the initial stage, how to start the things. Rest you can refer the books and solve the problem. You will able to solve them. So last class what we discussed that if A is congruent to B modulo M, the meaning was what? If divide A by M, whatever remainder is giving, same remainder when B will divide by M, and all the properties we discussed. Those students who do not know congruency, they may find difficulty to understand this lecture, because if you did not attended up to congruency basic lecture, my previous, please go through. The link is given in description. You can go through that one first and then go attend this one. So now today we are going to talk about the application of this. What application? There the huge application is there. Some common application I can tell you. Common application of the congruency. What are the common application are there? First, of course, the most common, finding remainder. Finding remainder. You may say that, sir, why we have to talk about this congruency? We can find out the remainder by dividing. You can find the remainder by dividing for a small number. If something big number is coming, how will you find? So there this will work. I'm not saying this is the only way to do the questions. There are the different ways are there, but as such we are learning the congruency application, so we will do only by congruency. All kind of the questions can be solved. Wherever you have to find remainder, wherever you have to find the express the number, this number is in which format, whatever divisibility testing, everything can be done by this. This is the finding remainder based question, divisibility test, all the things is included that. Second, finding number of solutions of linear equation. Of course, the linear equation, you may say, sir, linear equation, it's very simple. If you are talking about the x plus 3 equal to 7, why should I go for remainder, this congruency? I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about that multivariable, more than one variable get involved, and you have to check out the number of solutions. So those base properties we can use it, congruency we can use and do the things. That is the second application of this. Third application is this one, solving functional relation using congruency. Of course, everything I cannot discuss here itself. We will be doing few part of this. Whatever the best part we can do, we will try to discuss. This is a small lecture, also. On the YouTube, I cannot create the 3-hour lecture or 4-hour lecture. Will just a small portion I can give you, but it will develop interest inside you. So further you can study, right? The most important part of the mathematics is developing interest. You should like the concept. You should like the chapter. Then only you can go in this. Just by knowing here and there, you cannot do the things. So let's go one by one and try to see what are the best things we can do. We'll start with the simple question, very simple question. Be clear, I will increase the level with the time. Question number 1, find remainder when 7,005 are not. It will become very big. 47 into 34 into 48 is divided by 7. Is divided by 7. Sir, very simple. I have to find the remainder when this quantity is going to divide it by 7. Simple. We'll say 47 into 34 into 48 congruent to what? Modulo 7. Basically, they are asking. The question meaning is this. This question meaning is this. You should know how to convert a statement into the mathematics language. This is the mathematics language. This is the English language. This English language we converted into the mathematics language. Now I have to fill it here because this will give you remainder. Last class, if you remember, I already told you. The beauty of this is you can change it. 47. If you divide 47 by 7, what the remainder will come? That will come 2. No, sorry. 47. If you divide by 7, 6 are 42. 5. This will give you 5. So 5 into 34. If you divide, what will be remainder will be coming? 7 4 are 28. That will be 6. 48, if you are dividing, that will be 7 6 are 42, and that again 6. You make it more interesting because this is not answer. Of course, this remainder means what? A small positive number. You can make it more interesting. 6 we can write as a -1. 2 we can write -2. 6 again I can write -1. Yes or no? Or 5 you can leave it whatever way you want. It doesn't matter. So we'll say that 47 into 34 into 48 will be congruent to 5, let it be like this, into 6 we can write it as a -1, and this 6 I can write it as a -1. If you are not able to understand how I am writing, please refer the previous lecture. Why so? Because 6 is congruent to 6 modulo 7. Right? If you divide 6 by 7, remainder will be 6 only. That's what I wrote it. Now you want to manipulate. I told you, any times these number you can remove this number by adding multiple of 7 or subtracting multiple of 7. So this side I will not touch, and this side I will subtract 7. So that will come -1 modulo 7. That means 6 can be replaced by -1 in the language of modular arithmetics. In the language of modular arithmetic. Are you able to understand my point? Are you able to understand? Yes. So that is why this 6 I replace by -1, this 6 I replace by -1. You may ask, sir, this 5 also can be replaced by -2. Yes, you can replace it by -2, whatever way you want. See, any number you can replace by the addition subtraction of the 7. But I'm not replacing because I want some positive number. So -1 multiply. We'll say 47 into 34 into 48 will be congruent to -1 into -1 is a 1 and 5 modulo 7. That means answer will be 5. Answer will be 5. I'm sure everybody understood this point. Very simple question, very, very simple question. So congruency, whenever you are going to calculate, you have to go by this logic. Remainder, whenever you are talking. I'm talking about the first type of question. When asking remainder, this is just trail. It's not trailer also. It's a trailer of trailer. It's not real question. I hope everybody understood what I did. All these things can be done oral. I'm just doing this one. If once you'll become the good in the question, you can do here itself. No need of writing this step also. In language of congruency of 5, 47, I can replace by what? 47. If you divide by the 7, remainder will be 6. Yes, no, sorry, 5. 5. To let it be 5. 34, if you divide by the 7, remainder will be 6, but that I can write -1. 48, if you divide by 7, 7 7s are 49. So 49 we can subtract, to -1 will come to this also -1. The product is 5. What I'm trying to tell, I'm just trying to explain you to develop the interest. Rest, everything oral. All this can be done oral. Imagine the situation, suppose somebody asks you that key. Find remainder when 20 power 100 is divided by 7. Again, the language of divided by 7. Language of modular arithmetic. Very, very simple. Very simple if you go with the modular arithmetic. 20 power 100. First, we'll try to develop simply a relation. 20 will start. 20 is congruent to what? Modulo 7. That easily you can tell. Sir, it's -1. How? Because this 20, I can subtract from this 20, 7 into 3. So -1. So, sir, is the remainder -1? Remainder is not minus. Remainder is -1, but basically remainder is defined in mathematics a positive number between 0 and 7. Between 0 and 7, that is called as the remainder. But we are talking in the modular arithmetic, we can replace it -1 also. Because in the language of remainder, 6 behave like -1. Everybody understood this one? Now, I want 20 power 100. All of you know. In congruency, we are having a logic. What logic we are having? Okay, if A is congruent to B modulo M, then A power K will be congruent to B power K modulo M. Yes or no? We already studied. So I want 20 power 100. So both sides put power 100. So 20 power 100 will be congruent to -1 power 100 modulo 7. That means 20 power 100 will be congruent to 1 modulo 7. Yes or no? Answer. 20 power 100, if you divide by 7, remainder will be 1. Remainder will be 1. Yes or no? Acha. Don't think that we just talk remainder. It tells so many things. When you talk Olympiad preparation and when we discuss about the Olympiad preparation, we should understand this language. This means what? This means if you divide 20 power 100 by 7, you will get remainder 1. That is obvious. No doubt about it. This is one more thing. 20 power 100 is a number which will be expressed in the form of 7 into some integer plus 1. 7 into some integer plus 1. The language try to understand. 20 power 100 is a number which if you divide by 7, remainder will be 1. So 100% sure this will be written as a 7m plus 1. Is this clear? So always remember, whenever we say, what we say? A congruent to B modulo M. That means if you divide A by M, remainder will be B. Then we can say, what we can say? A can be expressed as a M into some integer. Let's say some integer plus B. This also you can write it. And vice versa. Am I clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Have you understand? So understand the meaning of this. B, you are dividing by the M, so remainder is coming B. Fine. Let's go ahead and look something more questions. Find remainder when 2083 raised power 2083 divided by 2084. Very simple question. In the language of modular arithmetic, this is a very simple question. Not at all difficult. What it says? Find the remainder when 2083 power 2083 divided by 2084. ठीक है भाई? Forget about the power. Look this. 2083 will be congruent to what modulo 2084? Tell me. 2083 will be congruent to what? Modulo 2084. Speak out. Right? You say, don't try to divide the thing. Don't try to say, wait, 2083, I don't like, it's a big number, no? Subtract it. 2084, I can subtract. Because in congruency, with the m, I can play. 2083, I can replace 2083 minus say 2084. So this will be minus 1. Question over. Question finished. Now minus 1. Now what I want? 2083 power 2083. Both sides keep the power, because using the congruency property, we can keep the any power both sides. Means integral power. So 2083 raised power 2083 will be congruent to minus 1 power 2083. What is the minus 1 power 2083? 2083 is the odd number. So this will be minus 1. Modulo 2084. Yes or no? But question, try to understand. Question, they are asking find remainder. And all of you know, remainder means what? The number should be between 0 to that 2084, excluding 2084, but including 0. Means this cannot be called as a remainder. I want this positive. What should I do? Just add this. You are free to add anything multiple of this, anything subtract, anything this multiple you can do. So we can say 2083 power 2083 will be congruent to minus 1 plus 2084. So that will come what? 2083 modulo 2084. That's all. This is your answer. This is your answer. Question means answer will be 2083. I'm sure everybody able to understand. Let's discuss more question. Find remainder when 3 power 77 is divided by 7. Okay? Damn simple question. How simple? 3 power 77 divided by 7. Okay. We'll start with the 3. 3 will be congruent to what? Modulo 7. Everybody, 3 itself, 3 already is the remainder. So 3 will be congruent. A is always congruent to A. Any modulo, it does not matter. A is always congruent to A modulo M. This we can use it always to start. So 3 is congruent to 3 modulo. Now your whenever power, very big power, your focus should be there. This should become either 1 or minus 1. What power I should do? If I'll put power 2 both sides, this will become 9. 9 minus 7 is the 2. No, I don't want. If I'll put power 3 both sides, this will become 27. 27 minus 4 into 7. 28 means minus 1. Yes. So 3 power 3 is congruent to 27 modulo 7. Means 3 power 3 congruent to 27 minus 4 into 7 minus 1 modulo 7. Finish. Question over. But I want 3 power 77. Up 77, how to writing? I cannot put anything power both so that this will become 77. But we can go closer to this. If we divide 77 by 3, what will come? 77 by 3. Speak out. 77 by 3 will be what? Remainder will be what? If you divide 77 by 3 if you do, so what will be remainder is going to come? 3 2s are 6. Basically, you don't have to do this way, but I'm doing. And 3 5s are 15. 2. That means 25 we can do power both. Both side I'm doing power 25. Both side I'm going to do power 25. Power 25. Congruent to minus 1 power 25 modulo 7. So this will become 3 power 75 congruent to minus 1 modulo 7. But I want what? I want 3 power 77. ठीक है भाई, no problem. 3 power 3 is congruent to 3. Tell me, what will be 3 power 2? 3 power 2 will be congruent to 9. 9 means 2 modulo 7. 9 I can write 2. Are you able to understand? So this is the equation 1, this is the equation 2. 1 and 2 multiply. 1 into 2, because 2 congruency, same modulo can be multiplied. So if you multiply, left side will become what? 3 power 77 into 3 power 2. 3 power 77 congruent to minus 2 modulo 7. Yes or no? Is it clear? But they want remainder. So what I will do, in this I will add 7. So we'll get 3 power 77 congruent to 5 modulo 7. I'm sure everybody understood. So remainder will be 5. So answer will be 5. Is it clear to everybody? Is it clear to everybody? Any kind of the question, it doesn't matter. Suppose if I say question is coming, little bit more changing. Find remainder when 32 raised power 32 raised power 32 divided by 7. Correct? 32 power 32. Power 32. Be clear. Don't try to say 32 power 32 power 32 is the 32 power. Means always remember, a power m power n is not equal to a power mn. Sometimes I always see that children used to do mistake this. Here n is not a power of a power m. N is the just power of m. If I will write this, then this is equal to a power m. That is correct. Because now n is the power of a power n. So this bracket play the role. So 32 power 32 power 32. Oh, this is a crucial question. Actually, it's a very common question. I just wrote it as a crucial, but I said as a crucial, but it's a very common question. I guess there's the old JEE question also. It's a very simple question. Little bit smartness you have to show. In one step, answer will come. First thing, 32. 32 is congruent to what? Modulo 7. So you say 7 4 ja 28. Yes. So 28 4. Oh. But I want here 1 or minus 1. What should I do? I will put power 4. No. 3. Power 3 both sides. So 32 power 3 congruent to 4 power 3. 4 power 3 means what? 64. Modulo 27. This I can change. Because as I told you, any moment of time, you can replace this number by adding some multiple of 7 or subtracting multiple of 7. My focus is what? My focus is to get 1. So I can write this one 64 minus 63. 63 is a multiple of 7. So mod 7. So we'll get 32 raised power 3 will be congruent to 1 modulo 7. Question done. Have you understand? Up question is something else. What it says, whenever the 32 power multiple of 3 is coming, that will give you remainder 1. Language, understand? If I say, what this says, this particular thing says what? This says 32 power 3 into some integer n will always give you remainder 1. Yes or no? Modulo m 7. Because if you put the power n, this will be 1. So now my question is that कि भैया 32 power 32 is in which form? Means if we divide by 3, will give you what form? 3n form, or 3n plus 1 form, or 3n plus 2. Because in mathematics, every number can be expressed in the 3n or 3n plus 1 or 3n plus 2. If this line you are not able to grasp it, please refer Euclid division lemma. That's a beautiful point. Every number in mathematics can be written as a 3m or 3m plus 1 or 3m plus 2. Why so? Because if you divide any number, any integer in mathematics, see, number means integer I am talking here, be clear. In modular arithmetic, we deal only with the integer. Are you able to understand? So, 32 raised power 32. I want to know that what form is there. So, very simple way. What I will do, I will try to get modulo 3. 32 is congruent to what? Modulo 3. Everybody know 2. Yes or no? But I want something 1 here because I have to keep 32 power here. So 32 is congruent to, 32 square is congruent to what? 4 modulo 3. Everybody agree? Means 32 is congruent to 1 because from 4 I can subtract 1. So 1 modulo 3. All of you able to understand? This says what? But I want 32 power 32. So power 16 both side I will do. Are you able to understand my point? Here also power 16. Here also power 16. So what you are going to get it? I am going to get 32 raised power. 32 raised power. 32 will be congruent to 1 modulo 3. See what the beautiful things we got it. You try to understand this line meaning. This line is very, very important. That's what I am trying to tell you. Congruency is not to find only remainder. Congruency is the something which can deal your big portion of mathematics if you really understand the congruency. That is question. This says कि 32 raised power 32 can be expressed as 3m plus 1. Can be expressed as a 3m plus 1 because when I am dividing by 3, I am getting remainder 1. Yes or no? Yes or no? So now think carefully. 32 raised power 32 can be expressed as a 3m plus 1. Means I want, please concentrate. 32 power 3 is the 1. So 32 raised power 32 raised power 32, can I write 32 raised power 3m plus 1? Yes or no? We can write this way. Just now we prove. Up, watch carefully everybody. Everybody please concentrate. That means 32 raised power 32 raised power 32 can be said as this is in this format. So I can write 32 into 32 raised power 3m. Up think from here. 32 power 3 is congruent to 1. So 32 power 3m will be congruent to what? 1 modulo 7, because both side I can put here power m. If you put power m here, concentrate here. This portion, all of you able to understand. This portion I am talking, this one. If put power m both sides, so you'll get this. My question is that I wanted to get 32 power 3m, I got it. Multiply both sides 32, so you'll get 32 into 32 power 3m is congruent to 32 modulo 7. Nothing I did, I just multiply 32 both sides. Now from here, 32 I can say, I can subtract 28, so 4 will come. So 32 into 32 power 3m means 32 power 3m plus 1 will be congruent to 4, will be congruent to 4 modulo 7. And 3m plus 1 we can replace this by 32 power 32. Because that's what I said, 32 power 32 is can be written as this. So this will be 32 raised power 32 will be congruent to 4 modulo 7. Maybe if you are learning first time, you may find difficulty, so many cases is there. But what I'm trying to teach you from this particular thing, this number can be expressed this way. And here we prove that 32 power 3 or 3m is congruent to 1. 32 power 3m, you can write it here 3m. 3m is, m is integer, is congruent to 1. So 32 power 3m plus 1 will be congruent to 32, and 32 is congruent to 4. So answer will be 4. I hope everybody understood this point. I hope all of you understood. Answer will be 4. Are you getting my point? So using congruency, you can do so many magic. It depends on that how good practice you are doing. It doesn't require much time. In 1 to 2 to 3 days, you can become the master of it. But structure-wise, then only you can do. Right? So this is it. I'll show you something more also. A very common kind of the question can be asked to you. Prove that x power n minus y power n is divisible by x minus y for all n belongs to natural number. I hope all of you heard it, right? X square minus y square divisible by x minus y, x cube minus y cube divided by x minus y. This we have to prove it. Of course, you can prove by using binomial theorem. But in congruency, in one step you can get it. I will take more step because I have to explain you. Okay. I want to prove that this quantity divisible by x minus. First thing x minus y, I will take a single number. Let x minus y equal to something. Let's say p. That means I have to find x power n. So x power n, we have to prove x power n minus y power n divisible by x minus y. It means what is my target? My target is x power n minus y power n congruent to 0 modulo p. Is it my target or not? Because remainder has to come 0, then only we'll call it divisible. Yes or no? This is my target. This is the target. That's all. Let's do it. So x power n minus y power n, can I write it as a x power n, x value what I can write? Y plus p. Y plus p minus y power n. Why so? Because from here x value we can calculate. X value will be y plus p. Yes or no? Now let's start. Y is congruent to y modulo p, no doubt about it. And you know, anytime any side I can add or subtract multiple of p. So this side if I am adding p, to y plus p congruent to y modulo p. Are you getting? I am not adding here. Why? Because I am adding multiple of p. If I am adding something 5 or 3, then we cannot do. We have to add both sides. But multiple of p you can add any one side, wherever you like. So y plus p will be congruent to y. Now y plus p raised power n will be congruent to y power n modulo p. Yes or no? Yes or no? Y power n shift to other side. So you will get y plus p raised power n minus y power n congruent to 0 modulo p. Finish, question over. That's what we are, our target. We prove it. Let's put the value of p so that you can see. P value is what? P value x minus y. If you put it here x minus y, so this will become x power n minus y power n congruent to 0 modulo x minus y. That means whenever this will be divided by x minus y, remainder will be 0. Remainder 0, that means it's divisible. I'm sure everyone understood this point. Very basic things I taught. Very basic example I taught. I know it's not at all sufficient. There are plenty of questions can be done. I will try to see that if more question video I can make it. We'll check it because that is not time. But of course, in our IOQM courses, it will be done in very much detail. Very much detail where you can do the questions till your INMO level. Of course, I am not saying IMO level. IMO level require, it depends on the child only. But basic fundamental can be done. In the IOQM courses, we don't simply solve the problem. We try to explain you the concept and the application of that. The next video is coming up is the format little theorem. But this time I wanted that in the comment you should mention which one you wanted. More problems on the congruency or format little theorem or Euler's theorem. There are the many theorems are there related to congruency. You can on that only video within 2 to 3 days it will come. It depends on that what kind of the videos you are looking for. Right? So I hope all of you subscribe and like the videos already, and see you in the next lecture, whatever the maximum we can do it. Thank you very much for all of you seeing this, and best of luck for your Olympiad or JEE preparation. Thank you.